That's fantastic. This is going to be great. You taste the turkey, you taste the vegetables that are there, but this is so turkey forward. This is going to be such a great stock for everything that we're using. Today we will provide a step-by-step tutorial on how to cook this as a family, and at the end we will provide a full recipe screenshot. Turkey stock. So you had a fantastic Thanksgiving dinner. You got some leftover turkey parts here. This is how we're going to be able to transform that into a stock that you're then going to be able to put into some other great soups and sauces and gravies and things of that nature. Now, for our family, one thing that we normally do is we just use the bones. Okay? You could do things with giblets too. We'll do another video at another time using the giblets. But for this stock, we're using the bones, using some vegetables, and using some herbs, and it comes together and it makes a very rich, flavorful stock. So let's take stock of what we have here. So we got our bones. So what we do with eating the turkey is we put everything aside, actually just throw it in a big gallon or 2-gallon freezer bag, freeze it. We've broken up the rib cage so it fits more easily, and these are going to be the base of that. We have some vegetables. We have a leek, onion, garlic, carrots, celery. We're going to give these a rough chop, going to throw them in, and then we got parsley, rosemary, thyme, and peppercorns. So what we're going to do, get them all in the stock pot together, fill it up with cold water, and simmer it down. We ready?
Yeah. We have the turkey bones that we pulled off out of meat.
Wonderful. So let's get those in the stock pot. All right, vegetables next. All right, we got our vegetables. This is a
leek.
This is
garlic.
This is
onion.
These are
celery.
And these are
carrots.
Great. So we're going to give these a rough chop. So let me get that prepped up, and then you're going to throw that in the stock pot.
Okay.
Okay, this is looking great. What's the next step going to be?
We're going to mix in the herbs.
Thank you. All right, so we have a number of herbs and spices here. Basically a tablespoon of each. So we got some peppercorns. Good work. So, and then we have rosemary, parsley, and thyme. Okay, so go ahead. All right. That's all good. And now we're going to add some water and simmer this down. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we got everything in here. We got our turkey bones, got our vegetables, got our herbs and spices. Now we're going to add some cold water. And the goal is to cover everything up in our nice big stock pot here. So this is a 16-quart or 4-gallon stock pot. This first addition was 1 gallon of water, and let's go add a little bit more. So we got 1 gallon in. We're going to add an additional 1/2 gallon. Get everything covered up. Okay, so that's 1.5 gallons. Okay, so we got 1.5 gallons here. So you see that some of this is buoyant and is floating. So this is good to go. So we're going to get this up to a boil and then bring it down to a simmer. All right, and once we got this up to a boil, we're going to turn this down and let this simmer and let it ride for a couple hours. Okay, so this has been simmering for over 4 hours, and you see this is looking great. It's cooked down a whole bunch. So what we're going to do now is turn it off and let it settle down, and then as it's cooling down, some fat will come to the top. We'll skim that off, and then we'll be ready to strain it. Okay, so now that we have this simmered down, we let this cool, we skim the fat off. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab some of the big pieces, especially a bone, get them out of the way so that we don't have to worry about those before we strain it out. Okay, and remember, these vegetables, especially these carrots, are delicious now. So feel free to grab those out to have, and let's get everything else strained out. Okay, so now we're gonna strain this out. So you can use a colander. We have a strainer here. This is a larger grade mesh, and then we'll have a finer grade mesh for the last go, but you're looking to double strain, either with the colander or with this. So we're gonna start here. Now, after this first go, you see that this is pretty nice. We're gonna go ahead and do another round, but this is gonna be personal preference as to how far you go. Okay, now that we've done that first straining, we have our colander here, which actually has a finer mesh insert that we're gonna put over top. And I'm actually, because of the size vessel we have, just going to ladle some to start until I feel comfortable pouring without spilling everything everywhere. And this is a wonderful full-bodied stock. We use this for things like turkey chili and various soups, casseroles. Like, this is going to be something that is a go-to for us in terms of adding flavor and value. Never add water. Always dig into the stock that you have. You're going to see that we have a fair amount from this when we're done, and we're going to portion it out and show you how we portion these out so that they're in packets that are frozen and ready to go. This is looking great. See, wonderful depth of flavor is going to be. That's fantastic. This is going to be great. You taste the turkey, you taste the vegetables that are there, but this is so turkey forward. This is going to be such a great stock for everything that we're using. So we started off with 1.5 gallons of liquid, and as you see, we reduced this down pretty well so that we're less than 1 gallon. So we're probably around 6 or 7 cups right here. So we're gonna package this out probably into 3 different portions, a little over 2 cups each, and those will be great. So now that we have this great stock, we're going to measure out 2 cups. So the reason why we're doing 2-cup intervals is that's what a lot of recipes call for. So what we're going to do here is measure out 2 cups, and now we know how much this is. And now we're going to distribute this within the ice cube tray. So that we can then have a bag full of it and just be ready to go. So it's going to be a little bit more. So now that we have this within there, we're going to put this in the freezer. We're going to let it freeze, and then we're going to be able to put it into a bag, and now we know how much we have, and we're able to just drop these in and they'll melt and we'll be ready to go. But you can have a quick bag ready for action. Additionally, another way that we're going to do this is we're going to measure out the 2 cups, And then we're going to pour it into a bag for our vacuum sealer. And what we'll be able to do is once you get it in the vacuum sealer, seal it off. You can then lay it flat within your freezer, and then you have a bag that you can just cut off, pop that out, ready to go. So we got this. I'm gonna seal it twice so that no liquid gets out. Now I'm just going to lay this flat in the freezer. There's a little air bubble which would be good to help it freeze well. And then again, always label your bags. Date, cups, what it is. And as you noticed, I wrote on it before I put the liquid in because you'd have a really difficult time trying to write on it now. So go get it in those bags.
Boop boopy doo, it's Daddy Q, the family-friendly cooking show.
Thanks for watching. Comment down below if there is something you would like us to teach you to make, or if you have a delicious dish that you would like to potentially have featured on DadBQ. We are building a family-friendly cooking community that we want you to join. First step to joining that community, like, comment, and subscribe. And visit us at dadbq.com.